I think it's safe to say we know you are synonymous with Herdade Do Meio. And the last time most of us were together on this screen was in this YMCA Village People gathering on site there when everyone turned up as the construction worker. Great fun. How are you doing? What's going on there, Bobby?
Now all the windows and doors are in and the carpet's down and the toilets are flushing and everything. So, no,
seriously? Since okay. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
in the showroom, yeah.
Have you got the for this guy for the photo shoot though? Yeah. Is he coming in?
No, that's me. Well,
it's you. Okay.
That's normally where I work.
Right. Excellent. So it's all going well, I take it. I wanted to ask you a few questions about some of the aspects of it we don't talk about too much, but interest, it sounds like, is going well south of the river there.
Yeah, no, the interest has been great. To be honest with you, we had stopped marketing for a long time, and then we started kicking it off in August of all times. And
it did. It's going against the trend here.
Yeah, it's gone nuts. Even today, like we've, I think, 6 appointments today, just alone, with people who are making appointments from the social media.
Cool.
And that's not even the main part of the campaign. The main part of the campaign is really kicking off now in September. And we're doing an event there on the, I'm not wrong, I think it's Wednesday, the 18th of September, where we have a lot of media, a lot of, Portuguese media, as well as a couple of dignitaries and what have you as well, because we'll be well on even by that stage, and we sort of now want to relaunch it back into the mindset of the buying public, if you like, because now you can see it's there. Now you can see, as you saw yourselves when you walked the site, the project is well on its way. It's nearly like fully completed with regards to the construction side of it, as in the bricks and the mortar and all that kind of thing. And now we're starting to do the first fix with the windows and the doors and things like this. So now it's a great time for people to come to the actual showroom, see the actual market, the models, how they work, and also all the new innovative stuff. So now we have all the finishes ready in the showroom, where you can come and see the windows, you can come and see the floors, the choices of floors you can pick, the choices of cabinets you can pick, the choices of worktops, basically everything. So now it's down to now designing your interior design at this stage of your home, as well as the smart home side of it as well. So it's an exciting time. Sorry, everything's ringing here.
We won't keep you. I mean, if you can be with us for about 10 or 15 minutes, and
sure, no problem.
Carl Hyde, Veronica, if you want to stay with us, that would be great. I understand, Veronica, you've been here for 2 hours already. If you want to go off and have a sunbathe or get some sleep after staying up till 5 this morning, but let's have just 15 seconds to give you a sense of what's going on at Herdade Do Meio, and we'll come back and talk about that smart home concept with you in just a moment.
Okay.
I love that vista with the Cristo Rey in the background there. It's amazing. What a great location. And that's a month or 6 weeks ago. So lots changed since then. And and by the sound of it, the smart home aspects are coming in. Now, I want to know more about that. I want to know more about the eco aspects and your emphasis that you've mentioned before, but it'd be nice to find out a bit more about it today, the community part of it. Some people might be thinking brand new development, it's going to be gated, it's going to be exclusive. I don't think that's the route you're taking. We'll come back to that. Let's start with smart. What's going on? What's being installed in the houses that make them smart homes?
Smart as people normally think is domotics. In other words, that it's fancy lights and you can make your curtains open and close, and you can say, Alexa, do this, and Alexa, do that, which you can do. But what makes this house smart is its intelligence with regards to its energy efficiency and how it works within the house to basically all the machines talk to themselves, if you like. So if we start with the solar panels, so you start off with 8 solar panels. I think they're all 550 kilowatt solar panels, and that goes through a converter into 25 kilowatts of storage of battery power. That will allow you basically to, when you're not using the solar, to store the power within the batteries. But also, let's say you have 2 electric cars and you want to charge both of them. The computer itself works out when's the best time to charge it, and even if it needs to purchase units from the grid, it'll purchase units from the grid at the cheapest point, and then basically redistribute them when absolutely necessary. So everything is applicable on your phone, so you can see everything live as it works. So you can see what your consumption rate is, you can see what your energy efficiency is, you can see, it'll give you prompts on how to make the house work smarter for you. On top of that, you can set everything within the house from a climate control point of view as you want it, personalized to yourself. So you have each of the air conditioning. They're now like mini heat pumps, if you like, what we would have known as a heat pump before, but like they're like mini heat pumps. So they work with HEPA filters and with clean air and sort of to work on that control the humidity within the houses and so on and so forth. So the whole idea of the smart home is that it works more for the end user.
Not sure what happened.
Yeah.
You're back now. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're there.
So basically, I'm saying the smart home part of it is meant to be, it's intelligent in the sense that it works more efficiently to save you money on how your house performs, but also then how your life is around that as well, including your car, charging your car, etc. as well. So it's cleaner. It's for the environment. It's an A++ house. So basically, energy rating is very, very high already, and that's really it. Now you have all the fancy stuff that you can add on. So for example, if you want curtains opening like this or doing this, you can have all that kind of stuff. You can have your lights dim. You can have all that sort of smart stuff that a lot of people like. I don't particularly like any of that kind of stuff in my house, to be honest with you. I like to push buttons, but there are people who love it and they want to show people on their phone, watch me turning on and off the lights here or whatever it is.
Yes.
For me, it doesn't matter, but a lot of people like it. But you can have it if you want it, and you don't have to have it if you don't want it. So it's all bespoke. So everything is designed to what you want. And then later, if you sell your house later on, and the person doesn't like what you've done to the house, they can change absolutely everything without having to rip up walls, etc.
Okay, very good. So there is the frivolous stuff, the light show and the curtains and security. I mean, that's not frivolous. There's a security aspect to that. But I'm particularly interested in, and I don't know if Carl and Veronica, you're getting more inquiries about this, but there sounds like there's energy security. You're generating electricity from the solar panels and you're storing it on site. Is that energy independence? Is that ahead of another curve we might be talking about this morning, where people are concerned about that and they want to be a little bit off grid? Now, traditionally, off grid means a field in central Portugal. This is very, very fancy living, isn't it? South of the river, and it's off grid as well, in a sense.
Well, legally under Portuguese law, you have to have a second source of energy. So right. Either you're connected to the grid, or you have a backup generating supply. So you have to have two sources of energy if you come off the grid. Now, the benefit of being on the grid, that let's say you have a house that you're renting out or that you're not renting out and it's generating electricity, it actually sells it back to the grid. So it's making you money. Now, it's not going to make you rich, but it's not costing you money. But you're connected to the grid's costing like 30 euros a month as a sort of a sign-on fee or something like that. So
charge, yes.
Exactly. So it'll pay for that kind of thing as well. So it's really to train people how to be efficient as well. I have a friend who told me that he had a solar off-grid house, but he said they kept getting huge, big electric bills. What happened was that he thought he had free electricity. Just because he had solar panels, he thought he had free electricity. It's not free electricity. It's generating electricity, but it's how you use it. So in other words, a guy had his air conditioning on and his windows open, and because he thought it's free, you know.
Oh, and that was just pulling off the grid when it got to those points.
It's all free, you know. So once the sun was in the sky, you know, but it's not free. What it is that it's an investment. When you're buying this house, our home started around 610,000 euros is the starting price. And in Portugal, that's quite a high price for a lot of houses, but it's 250 square meters of a house with a swimming pool, 5-minute walks to the train station, and you're 15 minutes into Lisbon. But on top of that, you have all the social side of it as well. So the whole house is designed around your living experience. And because I had a couple of guys over the other day, my new marketing guys, and they were doing some marketing and it was fine and everything, but they weren't getting the point. So I said, you guys need to come out here and you need to see what we're selling. Yeah. And they were like, so can we go see the houses? I said, no, let's go see the area. Let's go see the whole location. Let's go see what's around you. What's here for people to enjoy? What's here for people to... Why is it called Herdade Do Meio? So Herdade Do Meio means like the herdade in the center. What's it in the center of? So that was the first thing. I needed to show them what was in the center of, which I did. And then after that, we showed them how the house functions and how you can make the house function. And they were blown away. They hadn't got the concept up to that. And I think it's actually quite difficult when you see an advertisement saying, it's another house, or it's another development, or if it's another this, it's not. It's something I believe, and Carol's been there, and you've been there as well. So the Carols have been there.
Carl, the dirty
I
Carl's been
want
there.
to go someday. I have so many people
Well, you
that
need to get
ask,
your coat.
and
You
this
can,
is an
you can collect.
option.
I think you can collect your
Yes.
jacket at the same time, Veronica.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
maybe
still have your
okay, maybe
jacket.
I'm up there all the time because one of the agents I use here, she's now #1 in Portugal. I feed her so many leads, and she's great on her own too. But I feed her a lot of leads, and now
Bring
she's
her with you.
#1
Bring
in
her with you,
Portugal.
Veronica.
We're up there for all her awards all the time in Lisbon, and in Estrom. We just sold a place that was similar. That was a smart home that was a few $1 million up in Pastos de Arcos. So. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to come see it. Okay, Bobby, I'll connect afterwards. I'll show you now, but the fact he says there's batteries is huge. There's a lot of places that have solar, and they have the solar for the water. The batteries makes it night and day, because now you're storing your own power yourself. It doesn't mean it's unlimited power. And like he's saying, you can look at it and see it and go, oh, and watch it go down. So you can see, there's a maximum it stores. It can only store a certain amount.
It becomes addictive. I know a guy who's got it, and he's got it all on his phone, and he's watching constantly and sending screenshots about how much energy is produced today and what is used, and it's like his favorite little app. So, but yeah, having the batteries there is a huge thing, because most people, you know, they go to Leroy Merlin or EDP maybe and just get 2 solar panels. It's something, but you really need the batteries, and 25 kilowatts is a lot of battery.
Will that cope with an outage, Bobby? So if the main grid goes down, which it does sometimes, doesn't it? You know, there's a flood or something like that. Will the house be able to continue with its own power?
Yeah, actually,
that's a bonus.
The whole smart thing about this as well, you can add on as many batteries as you want. It comes like a sort of a cabinet. Yes. And you basically buy a battery. Costs around €2,500 for a battery for the house, if you like, and that's 8.7 kilowatts of on one storage, and you can slap it in. There's no technical way. It's basically slides into a drawer, and now you have 4 batteries. If you want 5 batteries, if you want 6 batteries, so you can store as much electricity. The big thing about solar energy right now, when you see people, we were looking at doing solar parks and all this kind of stuff. And what we figured out, the money wasn't in energy, generation. It was in energy storage. If you look at Kuwait right now, Kuwait has free electricity for everybody, but they don't have enough of it. Why? Because they don't store it. They have solar, and they have whatever it is, and they have obviously free petrol and all this kind of stuff, so they're generating their own electricity. But because people are wasting it, I was talking to a guy the other day, he's from Kuwait, and he was telling me here that he's here for a month, and he left the air conditioning on in the house because it's free. But yeah, he lives on the 14th floor, and then electricity goes out. He has to use the stairs, so it's not smart. So the idea is that storage is the smart part of this. So if you look at you can have 10 solar panels if you want. You can add on more solar, and as technology even gets better, the solar panels can be exchanged later on. For example, now they've a 25-year warranty on them, but you could change them in say 5 years' time if it's generating double the energy and so on and so forth. So solar itself is getting very, very technically better as we go on. So having something that's able to store power is actually where the smartness in this is. And here you can have 6, 10, 12 batteries if you wanted to. Now 25 kilowatts is enough to keep you going, absolutely. But if, for example, you had 2 Teslas, whatever it might be, and you wanted to have it that you can have them charged at any time and so on and so forth, you can add in more batteries. You can buy energy from the grid during the night when it's 2.5 cents a unit or whatever the price is. I don't know, that it's not buying it during the day when you're trying to charge or whatever. So you store it into your battery, and then you charge your car. So
that is
the battery part of it is a big part of this as well.
Yeah, no, totally understand that. And that's a new way of thinking about it, isn't it? Because power is on demand, generally speaking. We don't, I guess the old-fashioned gas bottle is one way of storing power, but that's very primitive. This is a very futuristic way of storing power and making yourself independent, which I think people are valuing more and more. Final point then this morning, before we go off into our days, and this is a very important one. And I think you're something of a visionary around, and I don't know what it was that made you think in this way, Bobby. I think we'll find out in the next few minutes. But Pam says this is so important. I love my apartment, but the best thing is that I'm a few minutes walk to a city with lots going on and a great community. Now this is important with Herdade Do Meio, like you said, it's in the middle. And when people have traditionally thought about exclusivity and luxury and a great place to live, often they build a wall around it and it becomes gated. And that has become synonymous with luxury living, isn't it? That it's cut off from the rest of the world for security reasons, for exclusivity reasons. I think you're going the other way, aren't you? You want to connect with the local community. You want to make it part of what's going on in the neighborhood. What made you think that in the first place?
Well, number one, we weren't allowed to do
Yes,
but we didn't want to do it either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one came up here in Aroera, very close to where I am, that this guy has planning for a closed condominium that was granted back in 2008 or whatever it was. But it's no interest to us because of how this one has sort of developed out. And our next two projects are very similar to what we're doing at the moment. So really, we saw the community that was around us, and we knew that it's a very nice community. It's all nice villas and it's families and so on and so forth. And so we said, like, as you know, we built a social side to the development as well with the paddle courts and we didn't do pickleball. We didn't do.
That's where the old people are going. Sorry, the elderly.
Maybe they'll play pickleball as well. I don't know. But we have 6 paddle courts. We have a multi-court. We have a gym. We have a restaurant. We have all these lovely things. And actually, we're also trying to build something else that might be more efficient, more community-driven later on as well. Cool. Also with parks and green areas and playgrounds and all this kind of stuff to add to the community. But it wasn't just for our development; it was for the whole community. And to bring it in, it was to basically marry the two sides together. It was to marry this lovely new development to the landscape to the one that already exists. Yeah. And we weren't trying to go, we're better than that, or that's this is old and this is new, whatever. It's not. It's all the same area, and we've brought up the value. And I would say the standard of living of the people who already live there by doing these extra things that we've done. So sometimes you get these smart asses on social media that will have nothing but a negative comment to say when they see this stuff. And I just want to go, and I have to sort of restrain myself and go, thank you for your comment, and move on,
Very important to us.
Good man. Good man.
Like, get a life. And
yes.
It's the fact that we do advertise in Portuguese, of course, but sometimes I comment in English about something. Look at the lovely view from Lisbon. Oh my God, are we in the Algarve? Why can't you speak in Portuguese, etc.? This kind of stuff, And the thing is that what we're trying to do is to bring everybody together, as in this development, the people that are there. Some people go, how much do I have to pay for that? Is there a condominium fee? There's no condominium fee. The player pays. If you want to use it, you pay for it. You know what I mean? Obviously not the playground and things like this, but if you want to join the paddle courts, like anywhere else, you pay whatever fee you pay. If you go to eat in the restaurant, guess what? You get a bill at the end of it. You know what I mean? So it's for everybody, and it's inclusive, and it's to bring up the area. And this development being our sort of first big one in this style is the showcase of what we're doing for our next couple of developments here in Aroera. We're doing 2 new ones in Aroera shortly. And we're going to even try and improve on them as best we can. One thing, Carl, before you cut me off, is that we hope to have 2 show houses ready by the end of the year. So actually finished out completely, so people can come and see them. Now, those show houses are not from a sales point of view. It'll be great for people who want to see it, who bought and whatever. They're actually for us to figure out what's the best way to, you know what I mean? What the flooring, so we can take all the sort of issues out of everything else before we sort of start finishing out the rest of the house.
Oh, it's a test home, prototype.
Test home, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
So, but guys, we're open now, and come September, we're open 7 days a week. Anybody who wants to come down or make an appointment, myself and Claudio are there. Claudio's our new sales manager. He's an absolutely star, to be honest with you. He knows how to use a computer, which is great.
You have to.
Main qualification. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, thank God somebody else is able to come in and do some sort of technical stuff. I'm useless. But so anyone who wants to come down, see what we're all about. You can't but be impressed by what we're doing when you come down here. I'm not blowing our own trumpet, but, well, actually I am. But you can't but be impressed by it. The development is there. You can see it. Now you can see the finishes. You can see the floor plans. You can actually now go up and walk around the ground floor, the top floor. You can see the vistas. You can see the views. You saw the views. The views are fantastic. You can see Cristo Rey, the April 25 bridge. You can see Amarage Towers. And again, you're 15 minutes from there. You're 10 minutes from the beach, and you've got everything else around you. I don't know what else to say.
Well, no, I thank you for sharing with us the social value. That's what I really like about what you've just said. You know, you're realizing the social value, which is very Portuguese, isn't it? It's not you know, this sort of foreign ethic of coming in and building a wall around yourself. That's not a good look in my view. It's understandable. I understand why people do that. It's been the trend, but this is different, and this is a great way for people who want to come and live in Portugal and connect with the local community. That's what people say they want to do. This would be an ideal way of doing it. Go on, Carl Hyde.
Well, I'm just going to say I have a Portuguese friend who lives on the housing estate opposite, and they're very excited about it, because before this it's just a scrap of land, like basically wasteland, and now it's going to have this beautiful, you know, 70 houses on it and everything else that goes with it. So yeah, the locals I think mostly would be excited about it. Scrap of land or nice homes with kids play areas and things like that is a no-brainer.
Great.
Community.
And a model, community and a model for further development as well. I noticed what you said there, Bobby, as well. One other thing, Ilyas is here from Qatar. Can you still help people with D2s?